Beers and bets. Beers and bets. Beers and bets. Beers and bets.
Hey,
Hey.
what's happening, y'all?
What's cracking, boys?
We're here on a
See you
Thursday
again.
night watching some disgusting Thursday night football. Bears and
Bengals.
Panthers, Thursday night football. We're back. The
Well,
Thursday night matchups are
That's
back.
about right.
Yeah. It is the first shitty one of the year, I'd say, right? I don't know if there's been a worse one on schedule.
The only thing I even really want to bring up in this game is, the Panthers traded their first round pick to the Bears for DJ Moore.
Dante's outside.
So the Bears, go get Dante. Me and Brad can handle this for a second. We'll be all right.
It's not that exciting of a game.
But Brad, what do you think about this? Because the Panthers traded their first round pick next year for DJ Moore, and it was part of their package to move up and get Bryce Young. So now the Panthers potentially are going to give away like the first or the second pick in the draft for DJ Moore. I like DJ Moore. He's a solid wide receiver.
We just talked about it. Yeah.
He's an average to above average number one wide receiver, but you don't make that trade with the intention of completely sucking the year where you're giving up that pick, right?
They thought he was the piece to put him over the top. With Komet and with Mooney already there in their run game. I think they fully expected to be a playoff team this year.
Yeah, or at least compete, at least win 7 or 8 games. They didn't expect.
Yeah, not to miss out on Marvin Harrison Jr.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what it's going to boil down to, right? At the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, the Bears could get Marvin Harrison Jr. and Caleb Williams next year if the draft shakes out right. That's how crazy that trade could be. The Panthers gave that up. Yeah.
You guys said it better than I could. That's.
You agree?
Yeah, dude. I was like, you took everything, the words right out of my mouth, man. So, yeah. I mean, and Marvin Mims, or who'd you say?
Marvin Harrison Jr. Marvin Harrison's son, dude. He looks really good.
Yeah. No, I like that kid. Yeah. No, I'm just fucking around because I did not hear any of that. But good news is I'm probably not too familiar with what's going on.
And we're not going to stay on this Panthers-Bears talk for very long either.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
we want to do picks real quick on it?
Yeah. Let's get into the Week 10 picks, our best bets for the week. We're just going through kind of the marquee matchups. And let's start with your Ravens, Brad. The Browns go to Baltimore to play the Ravens. Ravens have been excellent at home, not even this year, but in years past. This Browns team this year, the defense has been their strength, but their defense has not traveled well. They went to Indianapolis and gave up 39 points to the Colts, which is worrisome.
And that's not much of a travel. Cleveland to Indianapolis.
It was old Gardner Minshew just shredding them up. Yeah. So, Brad, this is your team, the Ravens. Let's throw it to you for your pick first. We got Ravens minus 6.5 at home. Low over under of 38. What's your pick?
More in the over. Hit them both.
Going over.
Make some money.
Ravens in the over.
Ravens in the over. Yeah, I figured they was a given.
I mean, you might need 28 of those 38 out of the Ravens to get that over, but I don't mind it.
Scored 30 plus in 3 straight at this point, the Ravens. And finding Keaton Mitchell. What'd you say?
Browns play them tough, don't they?
They
didn't last time. They lost 28-3 a few weeks ago. That was with C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
But they probably
starting.
played that game pretty tight. So they played them tough, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was a close game until late.
I mean, they tried hard, but it's just now you get Baltimore at home. They seem to be clicking right now. The only thing that beats Baltimore is really Baltimore. Lamar gets sloppy with the ball. Tries to do a little too much. A running back maybe fumbles down the field. That seems to be the way they lose games. But I like Baltimore and the over.
Right. Like both Baltimore's got 2 losses on the year, and both of them they kind of let the game slip away, especially against the Steelers.
Steelers, especially. Yeah.
So I like the Ravens in this one. I like the Ravens just to cover the 6.5, win by a touchdown or more. Jimmy, what's your pick for this game? before we get into anything else?
Yeah, I guess I'll just go with the Ravens. I mean, I wanted to be different kind of. I'm trying
Contrarian.
to think if the
I'm getting
Browns
worried.
can like run the ball at all. I just think the Ravens are really clicking right now. But this is a game the Ravens lose with
Division
Lamar
game.
that
Yep.
we've seen. Yeah. So if you're betting it, I'd be,
Banana peel game.
worried about it.
Find a player prop you like.
I'll take
probably.
Browns plus 6.5.
You will. Okay, you're going to switch it and go Browns plus 6.5.
Just to do it, and like it's not. I don't know. I feel like that is that division this time of year gets real tight. You know what I mean? Those games are never blowouts. So, and the Browns defense is pretty fucking good.
Well, they're good, but they haven't been good on the road, as I've said. They gave up 38 points in Indy.
Divisional team with a quarterback that you've played against a lot. Like I feel like they know them a little bit more. In the past, they haven't had success against them, Brad. Like last year, you don't know any.
AFC North is weird because
Baltimore has pretty much always dominated the Browns.
Yeah, Baltimore beats the Browns.
Like
the Steelers
history,
beat Baltimore. The Bengals, and Baltimore split, and then the Bengals.
Dicey.
The Bengals have owned the Steelers since Joe Burrow got there. So it's a weird triangle. There's weird shit going on in the AFC North.
The Ravens,
it is a lot of points. It is a lot of points.
He's 16-1 against. Yeah, it is for a divisional game. I'll take them plus 6.5.
Let me ask you this, Brad, and maybe it's too early to even be decisive about making up your mind. Will the Ravens be different in the playoffs this year with Lamar? Where they get there, even if they've had a good season with a very good record? Lamar's won, I think it's still at one playoff game that he's won.
Yeah.
And
I think we've seen a little bit that the ceiling of the offense is higher. I don't know if it'll be there when they need it, but he's been able to sit in the pocket and throw much better than I've ever seen him before. He seems to kind of pick his spots when to run a little bit better, and there's a lot less design run plays for him, which I think when you get in the postseason, you start to see these guys cut loose. So, we'll see him run more. You see Hurts run more. I think it could only get more explosive. It's just I worry about the running backs. Seems like every week we lose one. There's this constant fluctuation.
But you got that new rookie in last week, right? His first chance, he looked
you
fucking
see a lot
fantastic.
Of ball security issues in the backfield. You need that 2 yards on the goal line.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're handing it off to. I don't know. I would have liked to see him
fumble against Cincy last year was rough. Who was that last year?
That was Tyler Huntley, and he's still our backup. And he looked good, but yeah.
Harbaugh kind of finds running back, he never gives a running back a chance to be his guy. Even when they had Ingram from the Saints, he looked pretty dope like that. But he was never
But it was him and Gus or him and somebody else.
It was always a 1-2 punch. He never gives a dude. And so maybe with the rookie, they phased him in or some shit. I don't know anything about the kid, but yeah, I feel like this is one that could go. I don't know, man. The Ravens, if they gotta win in the playoffs. They have to win in the playoffs to prove me wrong.
The Browns are that type of team this year where I'm close to going out on a limb, like I did with the Titans last year, and saying the Browns are 5-3, but they could lose 5 in a row. Because I just don't. I don't think there's a lot there with the Browns.
Right now,
in the AFC, it might be, especially in the division the Browns are in. If they lose this one, it could mean no playoffs. Because you're talking the Browns, the Steelers, the Chargers. There's other teams in there that are fighting for those last 2 wild card spots.
Get over here, man.
Yeah.
Give me that playoff spot. Well, son of a bitch.
The Broncos could get in that mix, Jimmy, with another match.
We're getting there, baby.
They could get in that mix.
Don't worry about it. We'll be getting to that.
Let's go on to the next.
We got dogs in the house, baby.
Let's go on to the next matchup. This is also another noon game. And this is 49ers at Jacksonville Jaguars.
Noon game.
Interesting line. You'd figure the Niners, after losing 3 in a row, going on the road to a 6-2 team, would be underdogs. They're not. Vegas is saying they're 3-point favorites. 49ers are 3-point favorites in Jacksonville, which is tough. But I'm going to ride with Vegas on this one and saying they got it right and they know something more than we do. And that means Debo might be back. The left tackle Trent Williams might be back. And I'm going to say the Niners cover the 3-point line, win this game by, 6 points. Say Niners by 6 in Jacksonville. Niners off a bye, and after losing 3 in a row, it's tough to imagine the Niners losing 4 games in a row when weeks ago we thought they were the second best team in the NFC, if not the best team in the NFC.
Last week you said it'd be hard to see them losing 3 games in a row, though.
And I was sick last week. I could have said anything.
That was before.
Oh, boy.
But yeah, you did. I remember that because you just re-quoted it, and I'm like, I've heard that before. And Matt told me that last week on the.
That sounds familiar.
It's on a sticky note on the side of his laptop.
The Niners will not lose 3 games in a row this week. The Niners will not lose 4 games in a row. Well, shit, they did.
It's like shout out to that Broncos.
Yeah, you guys like the Jags? Is that what you're leaning towards?
3. If they're
believer in noon games on the East Coast, you bring a West Coast team over. We saw it with Seahawks last week. They're not as bad as they looked in Baltimore. That's a fucking good team. They're not a 30-point loss team. But that time change seems to fuck with teams.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy there's chinks in the armor. Jacksonville's got the longest win streak in the league. I think they keep it rolling.
About it, man.
Hey, sorry.
You got to keep that kind of talk out of here. Don't want to get banned now with the chink.
They're falling apart in his armor.
I just haven't I haven't seen. I think the Jags have a high potential. I haven't seen enough from the Jags. They haven't reached everything that's there. Ridley hasn't done enough for me to trust it. The Jags' other wide receivers, Kirk is there some games. He's not other games. Yep. And then the Jags pass rush. If it's not Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker hasn't really lived up to being the first overall pick in the draft. So I want to see more from the Jags. If 2 weeks from now I could be all in on Doug Peterson and the Jags. I haven't really seen them all the way there yet, even though they're 6-2.
I agree.
It's hard to write off a Niners team that we thought was the best in football for a while.
Right.
And I agree. It's hard to see them losing 4 in a row, but I just think the Jags are.
What about the over/under at 45? This almost made my under of the week. I found a better one, but 45 seems pretty high.
Yeah.
I'd agree. On that.
I'm just not in on Purdy right now. And he at the beginning of the year, I was all right, whoa, damn, he's really proving it. Because I was skeptical going in. And now it's starting to show, I think, or whatever. So yeah.
All right.
I'm I'll take the Jags.
Before we move on, let's get official picks. I'm Niners -3. Brad, Jimmy, what's your pick?
Jacksonville money line.
Jacksonville outright. Okay. Jimmy?
Jags in the under. Just because I'm doing the parlay. But I'll do Jags points in the under.
Jags +3.
Yeah.
Parlay with the under. Got it. All right. Third noon game. It's a weird week where most of the good games are all at noon. It should be fun as long as they're competitive. And this one could go either way. It could be a great game. It could get out of hand. We got the Houston Texans going to Cincy to play the Bengals. CJ Stroud coming off a record-setting performance against my Bucks.
My fantasy pickup.
Vegas is hesitant. My Bengals are -6.5. So the odds makers, the dues payers out there aren't trusting the Texans last week.
We are the dues payers.
We got the Bengals favored by 6.5 at home. I don't trust the Bengals to cover the spread. I'd be surprised if the Texans go in there and win. But when I look at this game and I think about what Baker Mayfield did to that Houston Texans defense last week, and I see a number at the over-under at 46.5, I think Joe Burrow could go in there and light it up, and I'm just going to go over. I'm going to go over that 46.5 number and not worry about the
I like it.
line. I'm not going to worry about which team I want to pick. I'm just going to root for points, root for CJ Stroud again to not look like shit after he just tore the Bucs a new asshole. So I got the over in this game.
God, they got ripped. I think they just scored another touchdown, man. I thought they had like 10.
If he had 45 seconds left, he did. Jimmy, what about you? This Texans Bengals matchup.
Yeah,
Where are you leaning?
I like the Bengals to just kind of kick their ass. I don't know. 6 is a lot.
Didn't you pick up CJ Stroud in our fantasy league?
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Oh, but you ran for that garbage time.
Garbage
It's a
time.
garbage.
Fantasy football. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
Don't hurt him. Don't
Garbage
sack him.
But I think I'll go Bengals money line and then the over on the
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that pick as
They're
well.
good. The way he throws a real good ball, man. Like the way him and that receiver they have that was in the league last year. Can't think of
Nico
his name.
Collins?
Yeah.
I like Nico. Yeah. He's a big ass dude. That's a big motherfucker.
But
Bell's probably
he has
been their
that
best receiver.
ability to catch with the hands, and the way Stroud was hitting him, just like in stride, man. I don't know. It's like they got something going there. I think so. No.
Yeah. Brad,
Over.
Cincinnati's going to destroy them.
do you like Cincy to just wipe the floor with them?
Jamar Chase practiced today. Houston's a 500 team. They beat terrible teams. People
Wait,
forget,
whoa, we're calling the Bucs terrible now?
They beat a terrible
the right
Bucs
shirt
team
on
in
for
a
it.
high-scoring game. They forget all about the fact that they lost to Carolina
Wait, didn't they beat the Ravens too, though, Brad?
a long time ago. The road win was week 3.
Yeah.
Texans are a good.
I really do think
Good
Joe
memory
Burrow,
there.
since like week 3 is the most efficient passer in the league. I think he's probably going to end up being the MVP this year.
It's
As
great
much
to
as I
see him
love the
back.
way Lamar is playing, I think Burrow's healthy. Sometimes these games, like, they're easy there. Stuttering
I'm
job.
still getting over this cold.
I know. We're grinding it out. There is no
It's the
T.
coolest.
Higgins, though. Sometimes that's led to some huge games for Chase when he just gets force fed.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the Texans make the playoffs, but I think they're a pain in the ass for everybody all year. I don't think that's like a gimmicky team where they've had a few big wins this year. I think they're a pain in the ass team, and I don't think they make the playoffs, but they could very well, I don't know what their schedule's like late, but they could ruin the season for a few teams late, depending on who they play weeks, 14, 15, 16.
Yeah, they're
and on.
lucky to get.
They're not a team you can walk over. And you expect the Bengals to do it this week. They might.
There's
But
a big
D'Amico
difference
Ryans
between
has
the
got-
Bucs and the Bengals, Matt. There's a big difference in talent.
I disagree.
One's a playoff team contending for a Super Bowl. The other is contending for
For
Caleb
a draft
Williams.
pick. Hey, on
No, we're not.
Sam-
You said that at the beginning of the year. We're not, dude. We're not
on-
contending
Hey,
for the
hey,
top
hey.
draft pick.
on Thursday, I wanted to take a picture of the what's the guy's name? Colin Coward. I'm watching his show. It showed right now the current who would get the draft picks at what spot.
And the Bucs and the Broncos are like 8 and 9.
Yeah, the Bucs were
Oh,
8 and the Broncos were 9. I'm like,
Hey, no,
dude, the
we're
best
moving out of
working
that top
baby.
10.
Bug
We're
up.
moving out of that top
Oh,
10.
Yeah, the Broncos.
Another
Oh, you're talking about our heads up bet for better
Best
record
record,
Broncos
yeah.
or Bucks. It's going to
Yeah.
come down. It could
Let's
come down to
go.
the final week, dude.
But we're going like this, and you guys are going.
Who's
You know
going to
what?
stay out of the top 5?
You're one Baker injury away from it being all.
You know what
awful.
helps us, though, Jimmy? Our
Nothing.
schedule is so much easier. And that's it. I'm not saying we're better. I think
our schedule going
we're
forward
right on
now,
par
though,
with the Broncos.
No,
we
going
probably
forward, I got to pull it up real quick, but like we don't have. It's not that terrible coming.
Let's pull it up. Let's take a look.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys talk. I got that.
Well, let's go. Let's go next game.
Yeah, but nobody wants to watch us.
No. I mean, this is a reasonable discussion.
We can bounce around a little bit.
Let's go to one of my let's go to my other team, my side team, the Chargers. The Lions go to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. Lions are coming off a bye. Chargers are coming off an unimpressive win against the Jets. Yeah, Jimmy, let's go through the Broncos schedule though.
All right.
Let's look at it.
Got the Vikings
Loss
at home on a Sunday night game. We have the Browns.
We're just going to skip over the Bills one.
Right. Oh, well, okay. Yeah, I figured everyone knew that. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we have the Bills this week. Yeah. My bad. I was looking ahead, dude. Yeah. But we got the Vikings, the Browns at home, both games. We got the Texans on the road. Then we have the Chargers on the road. Then we're on the road against the Lions.
Where are we seeing the easy wins? I can't convincingly say that any of those teams were worse than the Broncos. I can't say convincing.
Well, all right, fair, but those are all winnable games, right? I mean, we beat we beat the Chiefs. I mean, I don't know. We held the Chiefs to 9 points or 8 points or whatever the fuck.
It depends how real that win was. I mean,
it's a big week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then
I think because we kind of said last.
I will say if
nobody's
Lions,
really out of it in the AFC.
Chargers and Raiders is how we finish it, though.
Yeah, I will say if they hang in there, their last 3 weeks to close the season do look opportunistic because they play the Patriots in Denver. They play the Chargers in Denver. And then they go to Vegas to play the Raiders last week of the season. So those last 3 weeks, if you are in the hunt, it's there to be taken. It's there to be taken.
About being an annoying team, baby.
Yeah. Hang around.
Yeah.
No, but
Too many games to be played to rule somebody out that only has 5 losses.
Not your squad.
No.
Not your squad.
Not in the NFC South,
winnable
dude.
Games. I don't know, man. We
might have had the same record last year this time, and we still won the NFC South.
You want to talk about the Broncos with Nathaniel Hackett, really? We're going to do that.
All right. Enough. We got to get off the Broncos Bucks.
Yeah.
Let's get back to this Lions-Chargers game. Lions go into Los Angeles as 3-point favorites. Over under at 49. As much as I back the Chargers on this pod, I just don't like this matchup for them, especially without Josh Palmer. You know, really, it's Keenan Allen or bust, unless Austin Eckler is just going to have a fantastic game. Herbert's got nobody except for Keenan Allen to throw the ball to. I don't think Detroit's offense is weak enough to let that beat them. So I'd be surprised if the Chargers can pull out this win. And
you'd be hard pressed to tell me otherwise.
I just like the under in this game. Under 49. I think they're setting a high total because these teams usually score points. This week, I don't know if the Chargers score very many points. So I'm going to take that under 49. I don't care if Detroit blows them out. I don't care if it's a 20-16 game. I don't see this game getting into a total of 50 or above. So this is my under game, Brad. This is one that I just think is a little obvious with the injuries. And it really is injuries. Like we saw Herbert against the Jets. They couldn't do anything. They were lucky to get that punt return touchdown. You know?
We just saw Detroit get ran all over by the Ravens. Eckler's pretty good.
But
when that running
Chargers,
game gets going, they're pretty good.
Maybe this is the week.
Balanced game.
Maybe this is the week, but Chargers worst running offense in the NFL by the numbers. Worst yards per carry, worst yards per game.
David Montgomery's back. Detroit's coming off a bye. This is the end of the season for your Herbert.
This is the nail in the coffin for the Chags.
I think so.
It looks rough, man, and it really is. I think it'd be nice if Mike Williams was there. Yeah. Even every other
It's
game.
not on Herbert. I mean, he's amazing. It's just Quentin Johnson's not there. Keenan's good, but what else
Quentin
do you
Johnson
have?
just isn't a real guy yet. He might never be. It might be taking him longer than
I'm
we
not going to
expected.
say that. I mean,
But he's had his opportunity. He's had his opportunities. and
This
we've
week
seen
was kind of
little to
surprising.
nothing. Yeah.
This week was surprising.
So
But Montgomery back, 2 O-line starters for Detroit. Y'all in trouble.
yeah, if there was a way I could conceive myself to bet the Chargers, I sure would. This is a matchup where I struggle to see the path for them to come away with a W. Hate to say it. Jimmy.
I'll go Lions. Yeah.
Did I talk you into it?
No, I thought that all the way. Anyway, I don't know. Chargers won they look good, but against a bad team, a team with no quarterback. And
yeah, I mean, they
aren't
beat
a
the
bad
Jets,
team.
and we
They're
all
not
watched it.
terrible.
It wasn't like
wasn't.
the Jets defense did everything they fucking could to
Right.
keep the
It
Jets
was
in
not
that game.
exactly
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah. And I think this is another one where Detroit, like, I feel like they've had 4 of them now this year, but where it's like, dude, you want to challenge, you want to really show the NFL and like us that you guys are real, win this game, and it's another test.
Yeah.
And I think,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think old nut job has him up for the test.
I mean, from everything
Like,
I've seen, the Lions have a legit shot in the NFC. The Eagles are tough.
Yeah.
The Eagles have flaws. The Eagles have
Jared
plenty
Goff
of flaws.
always will scare me. When you're
Yeah.
starting quarterbacks, Jared Goff.
Jalen Hurts doesn't scare me, man.
Well, you know what would scare me is Jared Goff like having to go to Philly in a cold weather game. That's when I'd be like, this
Jared
might
Goff
be the end
going
of the road.
anywhere
bro.
outside of that dome in Detroit or the dome in LA.
Yeah.
I feel like he would not do well anywhere outdoors.
Did he ever even play in that dome?
Yeah. Yeah, I think his last year there was the first year that stadium was built. Because that was
I thought the year the stadium opened, they won the Super Bowl, but no.
No, it was hosted there. It was hosted there that year, but I don't think that was the first year of that stadium.
Right.
So let's get into our favorite picks of the week. I got a crazy parlay. All right.
No.
Last one of these I threw out did hit.
Yeah.
It was a couple weeks ago because we missed it. And that's true. All of our specialty picks, we were 3-0 that week. That was week 8. So let's keep it going, guys. Let's keep it going. And I'm being modest on these parlays. I'm not going for the 5-teamers, 6-teamers. I'm sticking with the solid 3-team parlay. And what it is, Ravens beat the Browns, money line. Bucks beat the Titans. Seahawks beat the Commanders, plus 300. Simple parlay. Ravens take care of business. The Bucks beat the Titans in kind of a 50-50 matchup. Most would consider it. Seahawks beat the Commanders. Commanders have looked better than expected. Some weeks they're just a bad team. Coming off of a rough loss, I expect the Seahawks to beat the Commanders, take care of business. I like those 3. I like those 3 wins. I don't think that's for plus 300 odds. I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind that one. Better than normal ones.
It comes down to the Bucks.
Sometimes it does.
It does. It really does.
Sometimes it does on these parlays.
The other 2 I like because Seahawks are at home.
Those are the ones that Matt doesn't want to do the podcast till Tuesday on. When the only one that missed in the parlay. I thought this week when you beat me,
that pushes it back a day.
Yeah. No, but Jimmy, I'm telling you, I had the flu so fucking bad. I didn't even go to work on Monday, let alone podcast. Like,
I know how you feel.
I was on the fucking couch, and it wasn't from football or the beer. I couldn't even drink beer last Sunday to watch the damn game.
That's when you know
that's how sick I was.
What were you thinking?
Imagine me just sick with the flu watching that Bucks Texans game and CJ Stroud just ripping us apart.
God.
And I'm just like,
me sick as well.
Dude, at that point, I would have been drinking. That point,
couldn't even smoke cigs, Brad. Too damn sick.
You gotta.
That was the bad luck. Gotta be drinking and smoking for the Bucks to win.
NyQuil, just Chew like a
Dude,
Michael.
I had been drinking Dayquil and NyQuil for 4 days straight already, leading up to
You
Sunday.
Built up a
You
tolerance.
drink it, or you just take the little thing.
I drink the liquid. I like the liquid cough syrup.
Glug glug.
Crazy bastard.
Yeah.
I like the liquid cough syrup.
Jimmy, let's kick it to you.
do nothing. I'm a ball.
Let's speaking of dog of the week, dirty dog.
Dante.
Uh-oh, there's it.
We should call it Dante's dog of the week.
I know. Yeah, let's do that.
Get him.
Man. I like that.
He's right over his shoulder there.
Dog of the week for the treat for Dante. If he comes down here, they're gonna win. How about that? Uh-oh. We have movement. We
Yeah,
have
the
movement.
footsteps.
Dante's on the move. If Dante comes in for the treat, what do I got? I got a donut up here.
A donut to give the dog.
We're giving a donut to
Well,
the
I'm not gonna
dog.
give the whole donut. Give him a piece of it. Dante comes in,
That still might not be a good idea.
We're gonna get.
Don't worry.
It's a
peanut
chocolate
butter
donut.
No. There's no vanilla on it. It's like with a dog.
vanilla. That's still chocolate.
He's the dog. There's some chocolate on my fingers. There's not really chocolate, dude.
We're eating
Sprinkles, man.
like
Look.
old glazed donuts on.
Is it from
It's a
Schnucks?
chocolate long john. Yeah, yeah.
No, it ain't a long john.
It ain't a long john. Just make sure you don't
It's
get the icing.
Just a lot of chocolate on
Sprinkles are just dropping off it everywhere.
That day's dog of the week, Broncos +7.
Oh, Broncos are dog of the week.
That day, let's go, baby. Hey, man. Hey, why not? We beat.
I like the pick because I think the Bills are like
Did you like
fluttering. I think the
I do
Bills are
too.
on the verge of just completely collapsing.
it? We're either
No
catching
fault
them-
to Josh Allen. I just
We're
think they've
catching-
had too many injuries.
Right?
We're under a minute, but we're
Yeah.
catching them at the time where they're either gonna make a push or they're gonna fall off. And if we can get them when they're falling off, that'd be great.
Yep.
So
I can see it happening. I can see it happening. Brad, real quick, under the week, if we can even get it in.
Segue in your
Oh, shit.
parlay. Seahawks under 44.5.
Seahawks
Both of
under.
those teams haven't hit an
44.
over in 4 games.
Okay, Seahawks Commanders under 44.5.
Yep.
Okay.
Easy.
All right. Let's
Cheers, boys.
You got a sprinkles and ran.
let's enjoy week 10. We're also going to do a trivia episode that'll be posted